I'm supposed to be reviewing a thing. I have to hold on a second. All right, we got to get the thing available in the review of the Kali Aune 5s with the wall. Actually, that available is in the Horde. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm coming here to get this. You're coming with me, Aune Flamingo. It's time. It's time. We'll bring it back here by the end of this video because this is where it belongs. But let's go look at it on the desk. Lonely days are gone, my lonely days. Ahoo! I've already stickered this. I usually don't sticker things before the review because it's like, all right, I really got to sit down. No, fuck you. Immediate sticker. This is the Flamingo. Look at the box it comes in. For music, we design. Yes, Yoda, very Yoda. They missed the opportunity to put 69 as the number that's in the box. It's not even pink. I picked a more pink, Flamingo pink for the girl in the background, get in the wallpaper Horde. Thank you for my sponsors for this video, whoever's in the sponsor link in the description. I don't know who sent me this. It might have been Aune directly. We got to talk, because love at first listen is very rare for Zeos, especially for a source device. But this is Aune's first tube, and Aune and I have a very special relationship. The very first thing Aune ever sent out to a reviewer, or like a video reviewer, was an original X1S back in like 2016, and it was to me. And ever since then, I've had like this obsession with Aune, like the Aune X8 Magic DAC with the fucking op amp swapped under the butt of it, in its taint, that gives it like that magic warmth, because you can do that. And this is the reclocker, and then I've got the new X1S GT, which has terrible output impedance, which makes headphones sound weird on it sometimes, but I'm okay with that, because it's a quality built unit. It has the button you press and it switches things. This is their first tube. This is the first thing Aune's made with a tube. That's what they told me, or at least that's who someone told me. I feel like I remember there being an Aune thing with a tube, but I might be thinking about X Duo. Had that like box. They've done it enough. So it's very strange. Usually if you're going to come up with your first tube device, you come up with a tube amp. Right? Class, does anybody else have an option? We're going to start using tubes. What do you do? Tube amp? Cool. Changeable? Great. How about, no, line of high quality cocaine. Why don't we make a DAC that's either USB, Bluetooth, or coaxial digital, no fiber optic. We'll give it a remote control, maybe. I don't know. It says sold separately, but I got it. But then the Amazon's real weird. And then we'll make it a tube preamping remote control DAC that has a headphone out that's decent, not the greatest, but and then you could flip the switch to shut the tube off or on with the remote, which I'm gonna talk about this remote. Oh, put a waifu on this. And then like you could have the RCA outs be like the point of it, and that's the point of it. I was waiting for this and I wasn't sure why. Like I saw it, I like the look of it. It's like rounded edges. It's got the tube injected in the middle of this. And you're like, well, Zeos, I want to change tubes because I'm a tube guy. How do you change the tube? Tube. Do not replace it. Not do not replace. Do not replace it. Which means everyone who gets one of these is immediately going to try to replace the tube. It's just going to happen on. If it's on, it's on. If it's Aune, it's Aune. I like Aune. I like it better. Because you can't get it out, which means it's built in there. That said, it is a PS Vane tube, which is a nice fucking tube. It's an ECC82. I don't know if there's any more numbers on here. From PS Vane. And it's probably one of the most like... The fact that you can take a button and literally go tube on, tube off, because it doesn't shut the tube off. It just disables or enables the circuit. And there's like there's a delay when you shut it off. It's like, okay, you don't want tube, and you hear it fade back into what is not tube, and you turn it on. It's like, ooh. So we started this over in the speaker testing area. I had those Kali Aune 5s. One of my like absolutely fucking optimal speaker system. $600, $700, depending on what the sale is. And I needed a source, and I was using the SMSL SU10, which is $1,000 just DAC. Name DAC, put it there, DAC with remote. And I was using that until this arrived. And I took that off and I put this on because I wanted to test it. And I know it's got a headphone out, but I want to test it on where I was working at the time. So I put on this thing, this son of a bitch. And I had the tube setting off. And it still sounded pretty decent. And then I'm realizing, wow, you know, I've gotten remote controls from companies for $5,000 pieces of equipment that aren't as nice and simple as this thing. Look at it. You know how much I complain about remotes? Got that $1,000 set of AirPods, hated the remote. Most of the Swans hate the remotes. Remotes suck. So Aune comes along, which by the way, the reason Aune is cool is because it's A-U-N-E, unless you flip it over, and then it's still A-U-N-E. Haha. And they give you a remote that's just an aluminum case. It can't be worth more than 50 cents. With 5 buttons and your little infrared emitter. And when you hold it in your hand, your thumb goes right over the up and down, which is where it needs to be for controlling volume. The next button up is an arrow to the right, which for some reason, arrow to the right means you want to be on a tube mode or not on tube mode. And on the display is fucking gorgeous. It's dull, but it's like, that's big enough to read from afar. That means perfect for speakers. You can see if it's in coaxial mode here. The top button is input, then you have filter, then you have on-off tube, and then volume up, volume down. There's no mute, and there's no off. Power is relegated to simply a little tiny little micro switch in the back here, and I haven't shut it off since I got it, just because it's a tube, I want it to be warm. You can't replace it. Most tubes have like a 3,000 to 4,000 hour life. I don't know what to do. Literally, according to the Amazon questions, like, see an Aune service representative. Where? So shut this off if you're not going to use it. The problem is you can't shut it off with the remote. And the only way to shut it off remotely, like oh God, I touched the tube. I apologize. Is to go back here and flip a switch. And when you do flip a switch, it's like pop and speakers. But yeah, input. Look at this display. Coaxial, Bluetooth, USB, coaxial, Bluetooth, USB. Then the second one down, filter. Then it gets real fucking small and you can't read it. And it's appetizing fast, fast linear, slow linear, fast minimum, slow minimum, corrected minimum, which is what I have it on in brick wall. I don't hear filters. If you hear filters, fine. There's your options. It's amazing that the screen can now become like 5,000 pixels. Get out of that. And the last one just goes OPA or tube. That's it. Op amps or tubes. Which one do you want to use? You want to use op amps or tubes? Op amp. There you go. Does it have a changeable op amp? I don't know. We need to get to the crux because I'm explaining what it is. By the way, it comes with this. I've never seen this before. It's a large style USB cable to USB-C with a little hook that you can keep on your keychain. So it comes with a full size. It's got the switch. It's got your power input, which the power plug here is the same shape as the unit and very shiny. And I thought that was kind of cute. It's currently drawing 7.4 watts. Take out the garbage. Let's not lose that, although I haven't used it. You get your coaxial input and you get your RC output. That's it. And the volume goes from 0 to 99. It doesn't go up to 100, even though it could blatantly go to 100 since it has 1 million pixels. And I was just sitting here for the first time with the headphone amp, and it's decent. Like, it's not a powerhouse. I put out the argons, but only because I have the argons out is because I'm RCAing out into the LA90, so I could feed the tube pre or not, depending on what I switch it to, into that to hear this through that, through these. If I want to hear it directly, I was listening to the KOS KPH40s. I have the stethoscope of the audio world out here. The Dunu Zen Pros, thank you. I almost forgot the goddamn name of them for a second. So I put them on, I was listening for like hiss, none. So the Headphone Out, it's a hybrid. It's obviously a hybrid. But I was expecting with the tube that you'd turn it up and you'd hear something. Nothing. And then I'm like, all right, I'm in OPA mode. Flip the tube on. Ting. Nothing. Then I'd start tapping around the tube. I'd start tapping the tube and hear ting, 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 ting. And I go, switch to tube off mode. It's tube on. Ting, 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 ting. Actually turning the tube on and off as far as what's going through the circuitry. That's what you want. I'm going to describe what happens on the speakers here. Because I could cut this and we can go back over there. But let's do headphones first. Let's go headphones first. Headphones first. If I plug in, the hardest to drive headphones I decided to whip out are the Harmonic Dyne, not the Zeus, Poseidons. Thank you. I found their case over there. I forgot how great the case was for the Poseidon. It's epic. It's It's literally, that's the only description of it. It's like, oh, is it $4,000 pair? No, it's just the Poseidons. We're going to lower the volume down a little bit. It always outputs front and back, by the way, all the time. I'm using a coaxial input, which if you're thinking about using this in the living room, which you should be, like out of your television, just to fucking pay some powered monitors. Also, the price, I should probably mention, I think $289 is probably the price. But there's also $219 for the non-Bluetooth version. However, the picture on the internet says that this isn't in the non-Bluetooth version, and you want this. You want this bad. There's also some complaining I have to do about the Bluetooth. But let's play music first. Oh, it's set to USB mode. Let's get it out of that. More Michael Jackson, Urban Mega Mix. This sounds absolutely phenomenal. I love these headphones. Tube mode's not even on yet. Now tube mode's on. And in headphones, it takes a sec. I like a tube mode that you flip it and it doesn't just go click. You click it, it's like, is anything happening? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, there it is. It takes like 5-6 seconds for it to become tube mode. Just does. And you're listening to a hybrid tube. I got right here, right in front of us, right in front of us is the TA22. This is a nearly $500 tube DAC amp combo. This and this don't compete. This is specifically 3 watts per channel, massive power, built-in DAC with fiber optic and everything else inputs, and it has XLR input. This is a different league of thing. This little fucker shows up, sounds as tubey as that, with like 1/3 the power, maybe even 1/4 of the power. Like this is the max. We're at 80. These were at 70, and these are at 90. So this is like, it's gonna push your headphones. If your headphones are gentle. You have gentle, nice headphones. You got power-hungry headphones, you're not pushing them with this. Monster Maggot, see you in hell. Whatever they're doing with this circuitry for this tube makes tubes sound like what I want out of a tube is to change the fucking sound, make me like it more. But Zeo, shouldn't you like perfectly linear? Isn't that like what all the audiophiles are going for? Like just like what the artist intended? Fuck the artist. Fuck the artist right in his ass. I want my music on a tube product because I could have perfectly linear. I could have that perfectly linear shit. But if I'm buying a tube product, I want something different. Change it up. I'm bored. I'm an audiophile and I'm bored. Give me back my bottle. That scene from fucking John Wick when they take the champagne bottle away. And he's like, give me another bottle. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Alfie fucking killed it. And this takes a sound, and I'll describe what I hear in the speakers. It literally takes it from a flat plane and melts the mid-range backwards. In the case of a headphone, it's this way. In the case of speakers, I was listening to speakers in OPA mode, and you put on the tube, and all of a sudden it's like you lose that middle. The middle goes away. Not gone, but just back. The fact that there's a spatial difference when you turn on the tube mode is like, oh, I paid for this. That's right. This is what I want. I want this as different shit. That's why people change tubes. The fact that you can't change this tube is going to anger some. At least it's a PSV and it's a good tube. As far as headphones go, I have no Monster Magnet CD in hell sounds phenomenal. Tales of Hoffman Barcoli? What the hell is this? 50 Greatest Hits of Opera. Let's go to the middle of this. Don't they have to sing in opera? Apparently not. Foo Fighters is a little bit bright at 80. Yeah, no. Tube mode is just... Tube mode adds exactly what I want from a tube mode. Just soften everything. Move the sounds around. Physically move them. Take them away from where I am used to it and put it somewhere new. I didn't buy a tube because I want it to be perfectly linear. I want a tube with something new. Different. Fantastic. The fact that I can control it with this. I haven't had this problem since I started recording, where if I get up and walked around in a circle, gathered some static electricity, then touch this, I'd probably have to reset it. I've had it happen at least 4 or 5 times since I've gotten this unit. Like at first, I literally was like, I came down the next day, and it was on or it wasn't on. I turned it on. I went to use it, and nothing happened. And I'm like, did something break? I was checking all sorts of settings, and it was just you statically shocked it, and it went into like protect mode. And you got to cycle the power, and it works fine. Let's talk about Bluetooth. We're going to talk about problems with this unit because I've already picking the Ahego waifu tongue touching sticker. It's perfect for it. Because this makes the speakers I listen to over there melt into me, and I love that. It comes with 2 antennas. This is why I'm not sure if this is all stock. If this came from Aune to me or On to me, maybe they included the remote control, which here says the remote control needs to be purchased separately. I haven't even found a link to it. But it came with a standard Bluetooth antenna, actually a rather large one. Like here, it goes right here. And then it came with this. This looks like this is a magnetic car antenna, Bluetooth antenna. I just threw it on the floor. It ain't that strong. But it's like, what the fuck? And it's got an extension. It'll go out 2 feet. Like, where am I going? And then I have to tell you about how the Bluetooth operation works. Because I obviously hooked my phone. The first source I had on this was my Bluetooth because I didn't have coaxial over there because I'm not used to that. I'm used to fiber. So I hook it up to my phone and it plays perfectly. It says LDAC. In Android, it plays LDAC. In Apple, it plays whatever the AAC. It'll do aptX HD. It does all the top end codecs. And then I'm like, all right, cool. I'm done with this. Change inputs to coaxial. It's still connected to my phone. Okay. Just disconnect it from just no. And then I have to go turn my phone on for something else to Bluetooth to it. And then it's like, now it's connected to the Flamingo again. I'm in another side of the fucking house. I'm not even using this one. I'm in the room over there and it's over there in the basement. And I'm like, why did I get alerts on my phone? Why is my girlfriend yelling at me that I'm not checking my phone? Because somewhere in the basement on speakers that are very low, it's going bing, bing, bing. And I'm like, what the? So I literally tell it to forget my phone is like, Flamingo, I'm connected. I'm like, no, forget the Flamingo. Enough of this shit. Forget it. And I've never seen this on a device before. the next day, my phone said, Aune Flamingo is attempting to connect to Bluetooth. And I'm like, no. Oh God, it's like a horror movie. Like I can write a horror movie. I think we need Key and Peele. We need to get to fucking write the horror movie where just a Bluetooth device won't stop connecting. Could you imagine if I put this on there? I'd be in New York and it would still be trying to connect to my phone. I've never had something requested before. Like crawl out of the fucking day, connect me to your phone, always. And I'm like, please, God, stop. So I'm probably not going to put the antennas back on. Hopefully that'll quell the range, which is why I was going to tell you to save. Here, let's go to the page. There's 3 of them on Amazon. There's this one that says 169. 169 Zeos, that's fucking amazing. Yeah, except this one says it has optical and coaxial output. And it doesn't. I gave him a box to destroy. That's fine. And I'm like, please, what? So I don't know if I trust the $169 one. There's also no reviews. Then you go to the one again. There's either $219 for the basic version, which doesn't show a picture of a remote. Look here, look, basic version, Bluetooth version, basic version, Bluetooth version. Bluetooth version shows a remote, even though you can't change tracks on this. Which I like if you can change tracks with Bluetooth with a remote. So I got to deduct a point for that because I've complained before about it. So if you're connected to your phone with this, you can't be like double tap to next track, triple tap to last track, play pause. They would need one more button. They could remove the filter button because I don't give it. Once you should set the filter. If you need to go through it, you press this once to change input. Double press to change from OPA to tube. And hold it down to get to the filter settings. So if that was the only way you could change the filter settings, that'd be great. And then you can come here and make this a play pause for fucking play pause, next track, last track, Bluetooth button. Be even better. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with the 219 versus 289 one. I just know that I love this thing. And here it's fine. Here for headphones and stuff, it's like that's just doing something interesting. Where this thing made me shit my pants, however. That's Swede. He doesn't like me very much, but he's a cute cat. Can I talk over here, Swede? Look at him. You cool? He likes that spot on the couch. Anyway, here is where I literally pooped my pants. And it was on speakers. And that's where I didn't even need to bring this to the desk, honestly. I was going to do the review here. Because to have a remote control this nice, a display that readable, and just the ability to go click on, click off, tube on, tube off, and then feed. Do I have a remote control that does? He's gone. He evaporated. Poor cat. There he goes, walking away. This is Don Quixote. The fact that I can be like, I'm in OPA mode right now for Don Quixote. Click. I can't play too much. Again, if you want to hear me play music that I actually can, you got to check out the Sound Demo Oasis, which is only for $5 patrons and Subscribe Star supporters. Also check my sponsor. I'm just keep checking my sponsor. I got to push that link so I could charge more for that link in the description that you all click. Click it. Even no matter where it goes, I don't care. It probably goes to my thing currently, but in the future, when this video is only getting like 10 views a week, someone's going to click that link and it's going to go wherever it goes. But this is where I don't have that currently hooked up. That's the Black Ice Audio Soundstage Expander. I've gone directly to the speakers again, and it's just there's never been more of a DAC that I think is specifically for speakers. People always ask, what should I get? And I'm just like, get something with a remote. You know, as long as it's, you know, in your budget and has a remote, it'll work. It'll work. It'll work for your speakers. It'll work XLR or RCA. This is only RCA. And it's perfect. I had what I thought was a channel discrepancy also between the two speakers. One, I switched this from the SU10. And it was perfect because I could just lower, I put it in mono. You could put foobar in mono. You could add that as a DSP, as convert stereo to mono. And I could listen, put on singing, and it should, if it's in mono, come directly from the center. If you measure where everything is, you should get dead center. And it was coming from there, which meant that was too loud. So I just went on the back of it and lowered it from maximum until it was there, and it was perfect. Now I don't hear that much of a discrepancy between the left and right, or at least I couldn't hear it through the headphone out in the front. So it's a tube. Tubes are designed to be a little fucky. They have to be, or it's not a tube. I've listened to the old Wah-22 tube amp that Woo Audio made. Was so perfectly linear, it might as well not have been a fucking tube amp. It killed me. This thing, meet the creeper, Rob Zombie. Wait for it. Oh, I should point out that the volume steps, so we're at 90, 89, 88, 87, 86, 85.3 to 70, 65, 60, 55. It goes fast. It knows to wait, go a few, and then go fast. Perfect. That's what I need. I want to go up a little bit. You get like a 3-second where it's just, and then it will start taking off. And the only thing I would complain about is like 60. 60 is pretty fucking low, even on headphones. The fact that I was running those super sensitive IMs at 60 or 70 means this has the opposite problem of that other thing I reviewed where I clicked it once and it was like loud. And I'm like, no, I want it to ramp up. Like everything from 0 to 50 on this is basically useless. It's mute at that point. So you really only have between 50 and 100 as far as volume control goes. I love this thing. This is one of those things that's just going to stay out, and because it actually actively makes things sound different and better. And if I don't want it to sound like a tube, I go like that, and it still sounds good. it matches up with at least $300-400 DACs, just straight DACs that aren't, you know, wild OPA crazy ones. So yeah, link to that in the description. I don't know if I'm gonna link the other one. I'll link the $170 one also. Just be cautious with it. I don't know how that would work. It would have to be USB in only, and then give you outputs, but it's not going to tube the digital, so what is it even doing? And I don't, if I can find this remote control, even if I find this remote control and you can just buy it with a FLIRC, it would be worthwhile, because it's just so nice. I might wrap it in speaker surround foam to give it like a squeezy outside. But it's a perfect, they get fucking thousands of dollars in speakers. They got shit fucking remotes. Just, oh, boom. Right where my thumb lands. That's the exciting part. That's the part that's like, oh, if I grab this, I immediately have my fingers where they need to be. Giggity. Anyway, I'm Zeospantera. This is Z Reviews. Check out In Ear Fetish. Check out the second channel. Check out the unboxing channel. Check out the cooking consortium. I'm on all these channels. It's crazy. Better be fucking up the carpet and not my goddamn leather. He scratches at the carpet. It's right. The carpet on the box I put there. Patreon subscribe so it supports this channel. See reviews early. Participate in yard sales. See all the sound demos. These speakers haven't been sound demoed yet. If you want to see me sound demo these, see them with a video. Sound demo Oasis for patrons. If you want to hear that sound demo losslessly, there'll be a FLAC download so you can assess things like that. $10 a month private behind the scenes Telegram chat, where you could ask me questions directly. I cannot answer them in the $5 tier. There's just, it's insane. I've gone over it before. That's the other cat. That's the Drake. He's not as scared of me as Swede, but Swede likes to be in closer spots. Yeah, $10 a month. Ask me questions directly. Private chat. And a lifetime swap meet channel where you get to buy, sell, and trade gear. If you want that wallpaper as well as the one from the desk, they're in the wallpaper hoard below. I use that one in the review of these speakers. I just haven't taken them down. I just can't stop listening to these speakers. I can't stop listening to these speakers. And one of the reasons is that fucking DAC. A DAC. Essentially, it's a DAC. It's a tube DAC. It's a DAC, but it's... I love it. To literally death.